So a big question is, if you have a really well-trained dog, is that dog fully enriched? Personally, I don't think so. I think enrichment comes from other things. Enrichment comes from what do you provide for your dog every day in regards to what they need, not just as a species, but as a breed type. Because all dogs were bred for different things. And a lot of problems happen when dogs get frustrated because they don't get outlets for those things. And you could have a dog that does all the tricks in the book, and they might still resource guard. They might still have separation anxiety. They might still be reactive. Ooh. A pheasant. So, what's the trick? What's the secret? Because you put all the hours in, you trained and trained and trained this perfect recall using everything they said you should use, all the high value treats and blah 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 blah, and yet when you're out you find that when it really matters and you really want your dog to come back, they bin you off for a deer or a squirrel or somebody's football, and you're left pulling your hair out, screaming your head off at your dog. So what's the answer? There's a whip at this spot or something. So it's dusk, it's evening in a forest, which is a great time for dogs to be sniffing stuff out. Big forests like this one, Savanac. Barney's picked up the sniff of something. Off he goes, up into the forest. Now, a lot of people panic when their dogs get more than a couple of 100 yards away from them. They think, oh, they're going to find something, they're going to chase it. They might. But that's, in essence, what they do. Especially if you've got to whip it. The important thing is that if you don't freak out, and you trust your dog a bit, you get a better relationship. So if he's all the way up there, right, you give a little whistle. There he is. Good boy, Barney. Now, I'm not saying for 1 second you shouldn't train your dog. Of course you should. Training's fantastic. What I am saying is you shouldn't rely on training as the be-all and end-all, because at the end of the day, we selectively bred and domesticated an animal with the sole purpose of doing for us, right? Obedience training, that came after. Obedience training it's a human construct to control physically the actions of a dog to suit us. If you trust your dog and you provide them enrichment, then they get fulfillment, then you get a better improved relationship with your dog because you're cool, because they want to be around you. There's fun stuff happening. It's not like they get 10 yards away and you're recalling. So, oh God, I can't. Oh, they've gotten a little bit too far across that field. Why did you take them to a field? Right? Why do you take them to a park? You take them to spaces to let them run around and be dogs, right? Otherwise, you might as well just let them out in the garden or keep them on a lead all the time. Now, it's not something I say to people, just go down to a wood or some big open fields and just let your dog off, because they'll run off probably, right? A lot of dogs will. Build up to it. Long lines are the best for this, in my opinion, because the dog teaches itself and the reward is you when they come back to you. There's other videos on this, but taking that time to let them run off, right? Get more than 500 yards away from you. Trust that they're just going to go off and do dog stuff without getting themselves into too much trouble. If you put the background work in, right? If you work on prey drive, if you work on basic obedience, if you work on enrichment, if you tick all of the boxes equally, and you start allowing your dog a little bit more freedom, you start trusting them a little bit more, I guarantee you, if you start trusting them a little bit more, I guarantee you'll see a marked improvement in your relationship with them, right? They'll want to be where you are. Okay, it doesn't matter how many rolling fields there are, it doesn't matter how many deer there are, right? And is it a lot of work? Hell yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not a once a week thing, it's an everyday thing. You know, you got to work at it consistently if you want the results.